Hello. Hey, everybody. Hello to everybody in the chat. Wonderful to see you. Hello to all the members in there as well. Thank you so much for your support. I really appreciate it. Welcome. My Tony and I are in Chicago. We had quite the road trip yesterday. I know some of you joined us on the drive, which was absolutely amazing because it really helped pass the time. It really did, and I appreciate all of you. That video's on the channel. If you wanna watch it, it's a long one because we were road tripping and you guys were all there with us. Thank you for the song recommendations and the sing-along. It was a ton of fun. Okay, so, like I said, we're in Chicago. We're gonna be headed to the Scientology building later on today and chatting with some people, getting to meet some of the people who've been doing just amazing, amazing work here, like Shannon and a lot of the other protesters and students as well in the area. I'm just fascinated by the whole thing and cannot wait to take a look for myself and chat with people. Super excited about that. And yeah, so I hope you guys check it out this afternoon. We're going to be doing some live streaming and I think it's going to be absolutely fabulous. All right. So, again, welcome. If this is your first time here, I'm Natalie, and this is Scientology Life After a Cult, where I recap the latest Scientology news that has the internet buzzing and share with you my 35 years in Scientology and how I left and got out of there with 3 generations of my family. Welcome again to everybody that's jumping into the chat there. If you have any questions, put question in all caps. That will help us find it. That'd be super helpful. Thank you so much to my mods. We got Dip Me and Glitter here today, Nancy and my Tony. So we are all raring to go, I believe. And boy, do we have a lot to talk about. We are going to talk about Vice. Vice has a Scientology segment out. We're going to look at a little peek at that, talk about that. We're going to talk about how Grant Cardone is under investigation by multiple 3-letter agencies. And we're going to talk about Scientology thieves. Thieves be thieving. And they were busted in Clearwater. We touched on it, but we're going to talk more about that because there's a response from Mark Bunker, whose campaign signs were stolen. We're gonna talk about LA. We're gonna take a look at the protests over there, Clearwater as well, a little check-in with New York, and of course, Chicago. Thank you all for being here. Please hit that subscribe button, hit the like button on your way in so we can get out some notifications. And let's get going. So I want to start. You know what? Let's start with Vice. Let's start with that Vice segment that came out, and it's Vice: How I Escaped Scientology. And if you're not familiar, Vice does these interviews where the person is anonymous and they change their voice so that they can speak freely about whatever it is that they're exposing. And this one is with somebody who escaped from Scientology. All of the videos I'm going to be talking about, there are links down below so you can see them all in full. I would recommend doing that because there is just a lot in there. You got to excuse me. I forgot to I brought the menopause fan with me. It gets hot under these lights too. So give me a second to get situated. Oh, there we go. That feels better. That feels better. Let's take a look at this and let's talk about it.
I was a doctor for years about anything because I didn't believe that doctors knew anything. I refused to drink water from a tap because it's got chlorine in it and fluoride in it, which I believe are poisons.
Interesting. I'm glad they're doing this. I think they need to do more of it. Yeah, it's hard to understand. I know there were some subtitles though. It sounded like he may have been on staff somewhere and then possibly in the Sioux organization, but really interesting story. It's not very long. So if you can, go watch the whole video, I would definitely do that. It, like I said, was interesting. Mark Murphy says, it's like understanding Scottish. I can translate. Okay, good. We might need you to, Mark Murphy. All right, let's take a look. Let's go visit with your lawyer friend, Zach. He shared some very interesting information about Grant Cardone. Grant Cardone is a high-profile Scientologist who runs multiple business. He's got this whole 10X thing. Many people have shed light on the fact that he uses a lot of Scientology cult tactics and have actually referred to his organization as a cult and questioned, is this Scientology 2.0? We interviewed Ben John, I think it was last week. That's on the channel. Check it out if you can. Ben was in Grant Cardone's organization for some years, and he gave us some really good insight into what it's like working within that organization, what their tactics are. And I thought it was very telling that Ben shared that Grant Cardone does not tell people in his organizations that he doesn't talk about Scientology. He didn't even know, Ben was there for, I think, 3 years or so, that he was a Scientologist. And it sounds like because Grant Cardone is one of the largest donors to Scientology, that David Miscavige and Scientology just kind of lets him do whatever. And it doesn't matter that he's not disseminating Scientology as long as he's giving money to Scientology. No surprise there, right? But this was really interesting because I had not heard this. So we're going to take a little look and a listen at this, and then let's talk about it.
Multiple 3-letter federal agencies are investigating one Grant Cardone. I also have it on good authority that there is a grand jury investigation ongoing, centered around Mr. Cardone's real estate business. It is my opinion, it is my belief that is a fraud. So, we'll see. We'll see how it goes. But his Grant Cardone's world is getting much, much smaller than when this journey first began. He's running out of friends. He's running out of allies. He's running out of support.
Isn't that interesting? You've heard, if you watch Aaron over at Growing Up in Scientology, Aaron's done a lot of videos about Grant Cardone. We've done a couple over here at the channel. It is just very interesting and fascinating to see how this plays out. And I feel like there's something in the air that, Scientologists who have been up to shady things are being called out for it, and their connections to Scientology and how their support goes to Scientology for then their shady things. So I think this is something we're going to keep a close eye on and look a little bit more into, because it is always interesting when Scientologists are under investigation. It is very much kind of a birds of a feather thing. Not that all Scientologists are like this. I'm not saying that. But we need to keep an eye. Whoops, the big donors. And he is a big donator for Scientology. Donates a lot of money. All right, we are back. I'm in a small space, not my normal studio setup, and I'm like banging into stuff. Ooh, bakes with butter. IRS is whale hunting. Is the IRS whale hunting? A whale is a big donor. Yeah, that's something to think about. Definitely. I would not be surprised. And speaking of Scientologists doing fraudulent things, Aaron at Growing Up in Scientology shared something that again just blew my mind. I know I should not be surprised about these things because we've heard about a lot of financial fraud in Scientology, but this one's crazy. You guys got to check this out.
And relocating to Austin. He was the lead fundraiser for a nonprofit church organization located in Austin. I was responsible for raising $7.2 million from parishioners, which included fundraising, managing sales teams, setting and meeting quotas, and social media marketing. The project was completed with fantastic results. That is so good for you, Jonathan Davitt. Now, I do not recall why Jonathan Davitt left the Sea Org, whether he routed out or whether he was kicked out. I do not recall, and I do not recall why he ended up in Austin. What I do know is that he ended up being the lead head major fundraiser for the Austin org. and that nearly 100% of the almost $8 million that he raised was raised illegally. Credit card fraud, bank fraud, loan fraud. And one of the people who got suckered into that fraud was
This part is so crazy.
Corbin Springer. The same Corbin Springer who is writing a letter to the editor about how the protesters outside of the Church of Scientology are hateful bigots, and Scientology shares all the same values as the UT alumni. Well, since Corbin is writing his letter to the editor in a paper that I think the paper's distribution is the students of UT, the students of UT might like to know that what Corbin did with his student loans, the money that was loaned to Corbin for his classes at UT, instead of using that money for UT, he gave the money to Jonathan Davitt. He gave the money to the Church of Scientology of all.
Can you believe it? It is so many of these stories, and I think it's wonderful that they're coming out because these are the financial irregularities. That's what they call them in Scientology too. Financial irregularities. You're doing irregular, fraudulent things with your finances. This is what we're seeing. And I think it's great that a lot of this is now coming out and becoming known because it is definitely going to result in, it is already. It's helping to Scientology crumble. I guess that's what I'm saying, because this is huge. And these are the kind of things that have been going on for decades. And in the world of Scientology and the Scientology mindset, they are well justified in committing these financial irregularities, in fraudulently obtaining money to then give and hand over to Scientology, because they feel that it is what they're doing is greater and more important than following the law and these rules. So they feel very emboldened to be able to do this. And it is completely going to lead to their downfall. And this is what I mean by Scientology is their own worst enemy, because they create their own enemies through disconnection and other abuses. And then they do things like this and convince Scientologists that it's okay to do it because they don't need to follow the laws of the land, right? Scientology is above that. I'm telling you, it is definitely going to result in that. Aaron had another great video yesterday about Scientology in New Haven losing their tax exempt status there. It's just a great day in Scientology news today, I gotta say. But take a look at this.
What's happening here in New Haven, you're going to see this happening in other cities, and I'm going to show you why exactly. Okay, Scientologists will have to pay taxes after sitting on plans to resurrect Hubbard's spirit inside the deteriorating doors of a former furniture store, now that the city revoked Scientology's tax-exempt status. The acting city tax assessor, Alex Pullen, informed Scientology of Connecticut in a notice dated February 2nd that the organization must pay taxes in July on the property at 949 Wally Avenue, which has remained largely tax exempt for 2 decades. Now you can see here in this photo, 2 of these photos are from different angles of the 949 Wally Avenue. Guys, Scientology has never occupied this property. They actually occupy a very small property a few hundred feet away. I'm going to show it to you on a map in just a second. Okay, the tax assessor says the property is not being used for a tax exempt purpose. Yes, it was a Masonic lodge that they purchased. Okay, built as a Masonic lodge in 1930, the property last served as the home of Halleck's Furniture Store. The Connecticut chapter of the Church of Scientology purchased the building in 2003 for $1.5 million. The plan was to make the property a New Haven home base for Scientology and a classroom space for subscribers to study the principles of the religious movement. Okay, moving forward here. The church has instead rented a property across the street at 980 Wally Ave, while promising for more than 2 decades to fix up the blighted site. 949 Wally has stood empty and deteriorating, while Scientology has avoided paying property taxes due to the property's ostensible standing as a place of worship. Okay, Pullen, the acting tax assessor, wrote in his notice to Scientology that because there is no construction under progress at 949 Wally to convert the property into a religious space, the building can no longer receive consideration as a place of worship that could merit tax exemption. The latest latest estimated assessment of the property is $2.07 million. Under the current mill rate, the church would owe $77,000 of taxes to the city just for last year.
Just for last year, $70,000. And I'm telling you, the local organization does not have the money to pay that. The way it works in Scientology is all the money's held at the top. So even though Scientology has all kinds of resources financially, this real estate and all that, they don't put that money back into the organizations. The members, right, did fundraising to pay for the buildings and the renovation by utilizing these financial irregularities of getting credit card increases without the person knowing, just so many things that have been going on like that. And look, and the building sits there. It just sits there. I don't know how they think they're going to pay that. David Miscavige, where he's holding all the money up there, could, but will they? Will they? Will they? We will have to see. Margie, thank you so much for the super chat. The DOJ needs to open an investigation. I completely agree with you. I completely agree with you. This is so fabulous that these things are coming out because, again, it is all what's going to lead to their downfall. It's the financial stuff that always gets people in trouble. Think about it. If you even think about like the mafia, right? When different people were indicted and sent to prison, it is usually over some financial thing is how they end up getting them. And we're seeing this play out with Scientology right now in real time. And I'm here for it. And I believe all of you are here too. Absolutely. Yep. Love your comments here. You guys crack me up. All right, we're going to go take a look at Scientology peeling the onion. They did an interview with Jackson Moorehead. Jackson worked security at the international base before he escaped, and he shares an interesting story about Apple boxes and David Miscavige needing a little bit of a boost because we know that he's fun-sized. So let's take a look there. And while you're here, remember to hit that subscribe button and hit that like button as well. All right, Scientology peeling the onion. That's what cracks me up.
Apple box boy, because around that time, everything hadn't been adjusted and rebuilt to accommodate his shorter stature. So his assistants would carry Apple boxes, and an Apple box is a device, a tool used in the film industry that would bring people higher to view. Like if you're standing next to a short person, you could stand in the Apple box and you both would look proper on film. So there was a small, medium, and big Apple box, and Dave always had a medium one, if I remember correctly. But nonetheless, you would hear him step up on the Apple box, clump, clump. And then everybody would sit down, and then it was only then you could see him. It sounds, I mean, that is literally a true fact. Every time we had our base, you could never see him because he was so short when everyone's standing up. And all you can do is hear him. So your eyes would follow the sound up to the stage.
And then all the gold crew had to stand in the front of the auditorium. Normally, the gold people would be in the back.
Apple box tech. I had heard that before, but I never heard it directly cited as a story from somebody who was there. I thought that was just fabulous. Small, medium, and large. And he uses a medium-sized Apple box. Oh. I got to be honest. Sometimes I feel a little bit bad when we make fun of his height because it's not something that he can do something about. That's why I like to say he's fun-sized. He is. Just hopefully he's not trying to get in any washers. His legs off the ground. Can you see it? Oh, I need to stop. All right, let's go over and talk about La Poubelle and what was happening over there last night because there was a lot going on. There was. This, I think this is from Confident Chris, who had an interaction with somebody coming out and their own La Poubelle. Their security stepped in. I feel like La Poubelle security is caught on. Like, you better keep your patrons in check because they are going to get hauled off. So it makes me wonder, at the beginning, La Poubelle management and employees were encouraging people to go start stuff with protesters. And that seemed to really slow down after a couple of them got detained, handcuffed, and put in the back of a police car. So let's hope that's the case. Check this out.
Don't touch me. Don't touch me. Why are you touching me? Because you're filming me. Don't touch me. Keep it pushing. Don't even try it.
Security steps in, keep them walking. They weren't doing that before. They were kind of letting things play out to a degree, and then later on maybe helping to put a stop to it. So I thought that was really interesting because look at that. That guy was kind of aggressive, but not like we've seen before. And it was great to see security step in. Nerd Report was there as well, capturing some video and live streaming and sharing about it. Let's peek into Nerd Report, see what happened.
And I'm here with Streets LA and the other protesters. We're going to be filming right now, so welcome to Nerd Report. All right, let's go. Right now, what's up, man? Good.
The only reason why they're blasting music outside is because of not only blasting, now it's too light. Well, not because you're not there.
I got like 10 copyright claims last time I was there. It takes forever to like take them out. It's not a strike; it's a claim. Yeah. You don't. Yeah, I just.
You can edit them out.
Yeah, you can edit them out. I just feel like if you get enough of them,
there's 10 of them, it'll take you a day.
Yeah.
Well, you want to play the white noise.
It's just interesting because he's sharing about the copyright strikes. That's why La Poubelle tries to play the music to get those. And it was neat seeing him out there. Remember La Poubelle, there's a meeting coming up for their liquor license. And Scotty, D.O.A, has been doing a lot on that. He's got more info on it on his channel as well. So head over there. I do believe we're going to share a video from him. We're going to jump over to Scientology Audit Streets LA. Same thing last night at La Poubelle, just a little bit more of a peek into what was happening.
He came right out of there.
I love this. This is D.O.A, Scotty, Defender of Ants. Join the circus.
Wait, what is it?
Don't go.
Scotty also had a bunch of flyers that he was handing out and getting out, which is great because educating people on what's happening, why they're protesting, really goes a long way. Really goes a long way. And I always love the costumes. And yes, Pippi Longstocking, he did get a new hat. I love it when he breaks out a new character and a new hat. I actually really like that hat. Really like that hat. Yep, Diana, he was out last night. All right, so now we're gonna a few people sent me a link to TripAdvisor and some reviews about La Poubelle that I thought were interesting. I think that it was their Yelp that got shut down where you can't make reviews there. And these really seem like actual customers who were there. And I was reading them and thinking, oh my goodness, this is very telling. We're only going to look at a couple of these. Horrible. The service was late and the lady was rude. Never again will I eat there. Besides, people were smoking in the building. The music was too loud. I couldn't hear my husband talking. The food was cold. Do not enter. I had a horrible experience. Too many creepy guys in the establishment. I didn't finish my drink and left. People were smoking inside close to the exit, which is disgusting. Once I got home to Canada, I did my research on Poubelle and found out some disturbing information about the owner. I highly recommend you do not step foot in this place. I was like, dang. Let's see. Horrible experience. Trash, like its name. Rudest staff and bar patrons ever. This seems to be a theme about them being rude and the smoking. The wait for our table took forever, and most of the patrons were rude, very drunk, loud, and the worst language ever. Since we couldn't get wait staff to our table, my friend went to the bar and asked if they could find someone to help us. Some of the drunk patrons made fun of her accent while mimicking her, and the bartender just laughed with them and wouldn't help her. The lady's room was filthy with a foul odor, like something decomposing in the walls. We decided to leave, so I can't comment on the food. The place is trash like its name. The next time I visit LA, there are hundreds of places that will be a better experience. McDonald's has more class. Never again. And they just go on and on. Overpriced, terrible food, waited an hour for our meals, abused by manager when we complained. Again, this seems to be a theme where the people are being mistreated, and the smoking too. I was like, we've seen them doing a lot of smoking outside. And within that kind of tented area, which, by the way, they're not supposed to be smoking in there. You're supposed to be a certain amount of distance away from the door. But it sounds like they're ignoring that it's a rule, right? Are they above the law too, like Scientology? I don't think so. I don't think so. Oh, Angela's saying D.O.A.'s new hat was a present from Leah and Danny. Oh, that's so cute. That's so great. I love that. I love that. I love this too. Mark Bunker. We're going to talk about this over in Clearwater. If you remember, we shared this the other day. There were 2 Scientologists in Clearwater who decided that they were going to go around and steal campaign signs that belonged to Mark Bunker because they can't have him getting elected because he is exposing Scientology and has been doing so for a very, very long time. And he had a response to this at the city council meeting. Let's take a look.
Thank you, Vice Mayor. Right before the right before the meeting, there was a article put out on the Tampa Bay Times, and I'm not going to talk about the details of the crime that's reported on, but I am listed as the victim. And I did want to talk a little bit about a couple of questions that were asked by the paper and by other people curious about this, because this was a mini crime wave that hit at various locations around the city. And there was a nice woman in North Greenwood who happened to capture part of this on a Ring camera. And I was able to turn that over to the police. And the Clearwater police did a great job of following their routes around town with different traffic cameras. And they were able to actually catch the 2 people who were involved in this. And the officer asked me if I wanted to have them charged. And I said, no, not really. I just wanted answers. Who was doing it and why? And we found out who, and we found out why, and you can read about it in the paper. But the why was principally because I talk about the Church of Scientology from time to time. I don't know if any of you have noticed, but occasionally that comes up. I've been helping people who have been abused and defrauded by Scientology for 25 years now. And when I talk about Scientology, I'm not talking about Scientologists. I'm talking about the way the organization is run by the ruthless leader, David Miscavige, who's holding our downtown hostage, and all the abuses that primarily target Scientologists themselves. So when Scientologists do something against me, I don't blame them. So the guys who did this crime spree are probably good, decent people. Just upset that I say something negative about Scientology, and they probably have never heard a single comment that I've said. But I just wanted to make it clear that, I have no problems with Scientologists. I have no problems with beliefs. I have problems with actions taken by the organization that primarily impact those people.
So great. He didn't press charges, and he makes a really good point, right? It doesn't excuse the behavior because you're in a cult. But it's true. Many Scientologists are good people, and their goodwill and their intentions have been hijacked by Scientology, and they've been fed a lot of propaganda that Scientology is doing good in the world. So they feel that they're helping to do that. They're also fed a lot of propaganda about people who are critical about Scientology, who whistleblow, who share their experiences in Scientology that were not great. And a lot of them operate off of that, but there's definitely this idea again that they're kind of above the law and can just do these things. And I think that is often believed because that is what they're told. In Scientology, the indoctrination, there's this concept of the greatest good. What is for the greatest good? And if it benefits Scientology, it is for the greatest good of mankind, and therefore your actions are justified, whether it's stealing campaign signs or disconnecting from your family. That's how that works. That's why they feel so emboldened to be able to do those things, because it benefits Scientology, and anything that benefits Scientology benefits the planet. Dina, thank you for becoming a member. Hip, hip, hooray. Thank you so much. All right, we're going to go over to Clearwater to Lori Plays. And you got to watch Lori's whole video because she does some singing on there, which I absolutely love. She was near the Fort Harrison Hotel and caught up with some people, including one of the Scientology buses. Take a little look and listen at this.
Oh, darn. Sorry. Sorry, you had to wait for me, didn't you? Because I had the right of way. Oh, and that's a nice full bus, too. Look at that. Safe journeys, happy space travelers. Safe journeys. Oh, yes. I am one. Children cannot consent. Children could not consent. Safe journeys, happy space travelers. Oh, I love it. I said, no, there isn't. Erica's got a sign. Hi. How are you? It's good to see you. I'm finally live. Yay.
Love seeing them out there together. But did that crack you up? Happy journey, space travelers. Lori's fantastic. And I love her style. She'll out there protesting, raising awareness, but with good wishes for the happy space travelers. On the bus and in LA at the protest, the live streamers out there call it the mothership. So even more so. Some of you are having trouble with YouTube. There does seem to be a YouTube, a bit of a glitch and an issue. And I appreciate your persistence and just coming back on and logging in. Oh, I love Laurie. All right, so Dustin Fountain Avenue here. I think this is one of the first videos for him that I'm sharing. Link down below. Give him some love. Get over there and subscribe. But he was in front of the testing center in Clearwater. And of course, pretty quick after him being there, they shut their doors down and did the Scientology lockdown drill. Check it out.
I think I'm at the Coachman building. I got my Mark Bunker sign. I got some traffic right here. Mark Bunker 2024. Elections in a week and a half. Vote for Mark Bunker. Oh, there go the doors. There go the doors. Oh, I feel like I got a win on my first day. If anybody knows who that guy in the white shirt is, tell him I said I eat my ass. Mark Bunker 2024. Mark Bunker 2024.
He's carrying a Mark Bunker sign too, so it's like double trouble over there for Scientology. I love it that he's there and doing that. I really appreciate it. Get over and subscribe to his channel. Sounds like he's going to be out there more as well. And I think it's going to be a lot of fun to watch. You know who else is fun to watch over in New York? Our Steve over there. We're going to take a look at what he's up to. This is Smooth Steve, SPTV in New York. And he ran into the Incredible Hulk, who has very strong opinions about Scientology. Let's give it a look and a listen here over in New York.
So I have my sign today. I'll be wearing. It's kind of hard to show you. Hey, I'm going to protest around the corner. Yeah. See, Hulk likes it. That's what I'm talking about. Yeah, man. Smash. Love you, bro. Thank you. Wow. See, Hulk supports us. No, not.
I just love that. Hulk supports. I think all the superheroes do. It does. I actually have some insider information, highly confidential and secret, but I'm going to tell you guys. Superheroes support exposing Scientology. And I think we're going to hear a lot more and see a lot more about that. Maybe even today. So great job there, Steve. You guys can go over and subscribe to his channel. He's got some good videos on there. He's also had conversations with Scientologists in New York. And I thought it was fabulous. I loved it. Definitely brought a smile to my face. What also brought a smile to my face was Pearl Snappy riding dirty. She is in Austin, and I almost just fell out of my chair watching this and laughing hysterically. Pearl Snappy, for those that don't know, has been protesting Scientology in Austin. She was there before the opening, during the opening, and she is still there after, along with multiple other people who are live streaming and protesting as well. But she's got her little Davy doll, right? Little Davy, the head of the Space Navy, in a remote control car, little remote control vehicle, fits him nicely, and was driving that around. Let's take a little look and a listen.
It's evil. He'll ruin it. He'll ruin it. That coffin dodger has not laughed at anything. Hip, hip, hooray! I can't.
I dare you to show this to David Miscavige.
Oh, Sean, I hope you have so much fun explaining this to little Davy. Well, they've never had toys before because all their extra money has to go to better driver than most F Scientos for sure.
Look at that.
Oh yeah, that was a good stop.
Oh, there's dogs. Dogs. Steve get attacked.
You got to go watch her whole video down below when she's out there protesting. I think KK's there with her too. Oh, so funny. In the little Barbie Jeep, driving around outside the org, inspecting, checking on things, I'm sure. Yes, Pearl Snappy is hilarious. Love her new hat, especially the ears. Yes, I saw it. That was so awesome. Smooth Steve, you're killing me. You stole his real car. Oh, so funny. She is Ryan. She's hilarious. They're the best over there in Austin. They know how to have a good time while educating on Scientology and neuropsych. Yeah, I think it is Elf on a Shelf, Davy style. Oh my goodness. Seriously, it was too much, not too much. Keep doing it. While also she was out there, there was a staff member there, just sitting in the back, taking a phone call right in front of the protesters there. Just, like nothing's going on, nothing at all. And in this one, we can see Pearl Snappy's hat. So check it out.
Not jump ship.
No way. So I think, did you watch Surge the other day? He talked about all the child auditing he had to do. Can you imagine a child, 12 years old, having to audit men and talk about masturbation? That seems way over the top.
It seems like something that is not at all appropriate. It seems like it's abusive.
What is abusive?
Oh, I think it might be abusive for all people.
I would say
especially
children,
kids because they can't consent. Yeah, they can't consent.
Yes.
So
I think that
none. We're a one-party state, and we're happy. There's two of us here.
Once David, and we're just talking. Once David Miscavige goes in, who do you think will take over?
Not her still going. Not her still going, y'all.
Yeah, we're not even listening at this point because we're not special needs. Sorry, we're not short bus ready. All right.
I don't know. Why not be?
Oh yeah.
I just thought it was so funny because you see different reactions with Scientologist staff members versus Sea Organization members. She is probably a staff member and not a Sea Organization member, because a Sea Org member probably wouldn't be sitting there in front of the org having a phone call like that and then staying on it while Pearl Snappy, Scientology, enemy number one in Austin, is standing right there protesting and live streaming the whole thing. What is up with that? Come on, Scientology. All right. And because we are in Chicago, I want to share a clip from Shannon's video. This is Chicago Scientology audit. Shannon has done such an amazing job. All of the protesters have, truly. She's just been really giving her heart and soul, being out there educating, keeping track of things, just exposing so much of what she saw. And it's been physically rough too, because these protesters have been being shoved, blocked, roughed up by people hired by Scientology, by Scientologists. And I appreciate what she's doing. And I cannot wait to meet her and meet other people here in Chicago when we head over to the building later. Truly appreciate it. So here's a snippet from Shannon's video, but go watch the whole thing because she gives really good information about what's been happening in Scientology. It's a great way to kind of like get the whole summary of what was happening at the opening and how that created issues for the community. So here's Shannon at Chicago Scientology Audit. If you're not already subscribed, make sure you get over there and subscribe.
Whoever he is, the Scientologist was filming this incident or pretending to film the incident where the old man was being beaten up. The other guy, Sean, was standing there with the most inept, confused look on his face, like in his mouth, like a fish was kind of like opening and closing. And I was saying, are you going to stop this or not? Are you or not? And I had the camera. Now to my left, there was a woman who was a resident of the building that I was meeting my friends at. And she just happened to come down off the elevator and out the door as this happened. Okay. So she was, you saw her because I filmed her. Her name is Carolyn. And she was saying, stop. What are you doing? What's wrong with you? She called Sean a creep. She's like, you creep. What's wrong with you? And the other guy, whoever he
That was, if you caught that video, it was early on the day of the opening, and there was a woman that came out from the building when Scientology's goons were assaulting this elderly man and putting him in handcuffs when he was just trying to go to the Dunkin' Donuts. He had nothing to do with the protests and what was going on, and he was being accused of assaulting somebody. And there was a woman who came out of the building, and that's who she's referring to, who witnessed this firsthand. And this is what I mean when I say Scientology is their own worst enemy. What did they do on day one? Day one, they move into the neighborhood. They rough up the locals. They block students, people who live there, from getting to their residences. They did a lot more than that too. And you're going to be learning more about it, hearing more about it as well. And nobody's slowing down or stopping because of it. In fact, it just adds more to people's desire to expose this human trafficking cult and make sure that the young people in the area know about it so they don't fall victim to Scientology when they're struggling or having these vulnerable moments, that they seek actual real help for that. So we're very excited to get out there today. And honestly, my biggest thing that I'm excited about is just meeting people. Meeting Shannon, other protesters, and chatting with them about it, what it's been like. We're going to do some live streaming out there. And then I have some off-camera interviews as well coming up. I'm not sure how long we'll be out there. Some of you asked, and in the chat, Tony is doing great. Thank you for that. On the drive, he just still deals with side effects from his treatment and what he's going through. So sometimes it just gets a little bumpy, but in fact, right before we left, I was like, are you sure you want to go and do this still? And he's like, yes. So probably won't be out there super long. We'll see how the day goes. I'm so excited to meet people and the college students in the area who are now standing up to Scientology as well. Definitely. Because they're doing a great job. Like I said, I'm super excited about meeting Shannon too. So be sure to hit that subscribe button, hit that like button so we can get this message out, let people know. I appreciate your support. We're going to be getting together and heading over there, like I said, in a bit. And I hope you guys join for the live stream later. I'll probably be off and on a few times because, like I said, I have some interviews happening throughout the day, and some of them are going to be off camera. So it'll be kind of separate. But I appreciate you guys being here. Appreciate your support. If you see something, say something when it comes to Scientology and news. You can email me, Natalie@lifeafteraCult.com, and let me know what you see. Send me links. If you're sending me a link to a whole video, put a timestamp. This is the timestamp that I'm talking about. It starts at this time. Or if you know how to clip videos and what you want to show me is less than 60 seconds, you can do it as a clip as well. But definitely tell me what I'm looking at and a timestamp, because you guys send me amazing clips and links, but sometimes without the link or what I'm looking for within that video, that's super helpful. And I appreciate you so much. And your emails about your thoughts on what's happening and your own outrage or your connection to it. I just love it. I truly wish I could answer every single email And it's been a bit busy, but I want you guys to know how much I appreciate it and how much I appreciate your help, your emails, and your support. Truly, wouldn't be here doing it without it. So you guys keep showing up, and I will keep showing up as well. So we will be back in a little bit going live streaming from outside the Chicago org and meeting some new friends. It's going to be very exciting. It is for me. I always love meeting new people. So hope to see you there. In the meantime, I hope you all get out today and have an amazing cult-free day.